With the Galaxy Tab S7 and Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, Samsung introduced two successors to the Galaxy Tab S6. While the most important difference between the two is their display size, there are lots of other aspects that differentiate the two. I'm NJ from MyNextTablet.com, and here's my comparison between these two high-end tablets. Let's check out their differences first, and that starts with the price. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 is the cheapest one, with prices starting at $650. If you want to get the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, you've got to pay at least $850. Prices vary a bit by country, of course. You can see that the basic design is the same. Both are clearly made by Samsung, and compared to the predecessor, the frame got a bit sharper and more rectangular. The Galaxy Tab S7 has an 11-inch screen, and the Tab S7 Plus has a 12.4-inch display. So the Tab S7 Plus is bigger overall and weighs a bit more, with 575 grams compared to 500 grams. However, with 5.7mm, it's a bit thinner than the 6.3mm of the standard S7. Samsung is offering versions in black, silver and bronze. Both tablets feature a USB-C port and a microSD card slot, and both are lacking a headphone jack. While the fingerprint scanner is hidden underneath the screen of the Tab S7 Plus, the smaller version has one built into the home button. Now, a fingerprint scanner underneath the screen is way cooler, of course, but both are very fast and seem reliable. I'm a bit disappointed that Samsung chooses to use different display technologies in their tablets. The Galaxy Tab S7 Plus has a very pretty Super AMOLED screen, which we typically get in higher-end devices from Samsung. But for some reason they decided to ship the smaller S7 with an LCD panel. Now, the 11-inch LCD screen of the Tab S7 is a good one, certainly one of the best in a tablet. It's very bright with 500 nits and has a very high resolution of 2560 by 1600 pixels. The colors look quite accurate and the contrast is very good for an LCD. With that being said, the 12.4-inch Super AMOLED screen does look nicer in a direct comparison. The pixel density is about the same. Actually, the Tab S7 has 276 ppi compared to 266 ppi of the Tab S7 Plus. But as you might have guessed, the contrast is much better. As is typical for an AMOLED panel, the blacks are noticeably blacker than on the Tab S7 and don't look as washed out. The bigger tablet also supports HDR10+, and you can use it to watch HDR content on Netflix. This is not possible on the smaller S7, but here you can watch movies in HD, of course. In both cases, the screens support a refresh rate of 120Hz, just as we are used to from the iPad Pro for years now. That's fantastic, because while not every game and certainly not movies need this, especially animation, scrolling and drawings of the S Pen look faster and smoother, and some games support it too. There used to be a kind of jelly or rolling shutter effect when scrolling horizontally on Samsung's AMOLED screens, but that's mostly gone now. I guess those 120Hz are one reason for that. I noticed that the sound out of the four speakers of the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus sounds richer with better bass. The standard Tab S7 has 4 speakers too, and they're great compared to other tablets, but not as good as the ones of the S7 Plus. So the S7 Plus is the better tablet for media consumption, not just because of the AMOLED screen, but because of the speakers too. Both tablets feature a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus SoC, which is an up-to-date high-end chip that is super fast. I got the Galaxy Tab S7 with 6GB of RAM and a 128GB storage. On the Tab S7 Plus, on the other hand, I got 8GB of RAM and a 256GB internal storage. These are the versions that are available in Germany right now, but in other countries you can get sometimes up to 512GB of storage. While the Tab S7 supports LTE only, you can get the S7 Plus with 5G. I've run a couple of different benchmark tools and the results are almost always the same. Sometimes the S7 is faster and sometimes the bigger one is a bit stronger, but the differences are too minor to make any difference. Real-life performance is fantastic on both tablets. Multitasking works very well, and that also goes for the Samsung DeX desktop mode. You can have lots of different apps open at the same time and do some extensive office work without them slowing down. During regular use, I didn't notice any difference between the Tab S7 with 6GB of RAM and the Tab S7 Plus with 8GB of RAM. But when opening lots of apps and games in Samsung DeX, the 8GB version did seem to perform a bit better. I wanted to compare their video render performance in Adobe Premiere Rush, but at the moment their app is not supported on the Tab S7 Plus and works on the Tab S7 only. I've had some problems here too, but did manage to render a video. The performance of the bigger one should be similar, and the iPad Pro continues to render much faster. For this test I rendered a 4K 9-minute video. When playing games like Fortnite and PUBG Mobile, the performance of the two seems identical. Both are super fast and excellent tablets for gaming. You can get both tablets with a keyboard cover that you've got to buy separately. They are very similar and consist of a back cover with an integrated kickstand and a separate keyboard with a touchpad. I think the keyboard has improved a lot compared to the Tab S6 and I like it a lot now. I don't have the one for the Tab S7 Plus, but as you can expect that one is a bit bigger. It also features an additional row for function keys, which is missing on the smaller one. That seems to be the only difference. In my battery test, the Galaxy Tab S7 lasted 8 hours and the Tab S7 Plus lasted 7.5 hours. For this, I've streamed an HD video on YouTube at maximum brightness until they shut themselves off. Well, all the other aspects are the same. Both are running Android 10 with the One UI on top, and the software is identical with all features being the same. You can use Samsung DeX on both, all the S Pen features are the same, and the S Pens themselves are the same too and interchangeable, no difference at all. The webcam and the 30MP back camera and the 5MP ultra wide camera are the same too. I took photos and videos with all of them and I didn't see any difference. If you want to learn more about the Galaxy Tab S7 series, then subscribe to this channel. I've got videos about the S Pen and keyboard online already, and a final review and other comparisons with the iPad Pro and Galaxy Tab S6 Lite are coming up. I'm NJ from mynexttablet.com. Thanks for watching and see you next time.